let's take you through some of the dailies. We'll start with Daily Trust this morning. Food prices drop. Yeah, that's the key word. Drop in Kano, Taraba, Kwara, Niger. What's going on? Who has a magic wand? Well, look at the riders. Governments go after hoarders. Oh, feed companies suspend mop-up. Hunger protest spreads to Ibadan. So, I know you think, what? Could it be because they went after the hoarders that came about? This one, we don't know, but this is the lead story on the front page here today.
A very worrisome headline on the front page of New Telegraph, and guess where they got it from? From Channels Television's Politics Today. That's why we tell you to keep locked on here on Channels Television. Look at the lead headline there. No 42,000 metric tons of grains in federal government strategic reserves silos. That's according to Bugaje. Says government rented out all its silos. Can't control prices of produce. It doesn't have. A very strong statement right there made by former House of Reps member Honorable Bugaje. You also see right there other stories. Nigerians grappling with problems Buhari planted. That's according to Middle Belt Forum. Stop the blame games. ASA tells federal government, governors, Ibadan youths protest call for good governance. That's what you find on the front page of the Telegraph.
Well, that's exactly what this Nigerian newspaper leads with this morning. High cost of living protest. Ibadan joins protest train. That's what you have right there. The stories are on pages 2 and 19. Look at the riders. Tinubu knows Nigerians are suffering, says APC chieftain. Market defies CBN's reforms as Naira trades at 1,655 to the dollar. Well, that's another symptom. What is the cause? That's the lead story of this Nigeria today.
Forex crisis trigger major dislocations in 2024 budget. And then above that, you get to see FG, cement manufacturers, agree on 7,000/8,000 naira for 50 kg bag. You heard. That's Vanguard.
I'm looking at The Guardian now, and they have this on the front page. Road infrastructure development. Federal government grants 4 trillion naira tax credit in 5 years as inflation threatens scheme. That is also on the front page of The Guardian this morning. Of course, you see that tractor there, and they tell you how much we need. Nigeria needs 438 trillion naira investment in infrastructure over the next 10 years. Let's leave it there for The Guardian newspapers.
Before I go to the Nigerian Observer, there's this interesting one on the front page of Blueprint talking about the same thing as you have right there on the front page of that previous paper. Senate furious over 17 trillion naira loss to tax waivers. Questions, right? Well, look at the riders. FIRS insists on stopping 2.7 trillion naira fresh tax credit. And then the second one targets 19 trillion naira revenue in 2024. Wait a minute. How much is our budget this year again? I mean, just imagine you have 17 trillion naira of those tax waivers in that budget. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. That's the lead story of the Blueprint newspaper today.
Hardship, no end in sight as protests continues. That's the big lead on the front page of Leadership this morning.
I'm taking a look at Nigerian News Direct, and you can test the veracity of my Yoruba by how I speak this one. It says, looking at it now. Okay, is he hiding? Ebing Pawa, Nigerians chant in Ibadan protest. That's the lead story. Ebing Pawa, just in case you don't know what that means, it means we are hungry. That's what it means in Yoruba. Decry hunger, insecurity, as PDP accused Tinubu APC of being overwhelmed, lacking capacity to govern. As a lead story on the front page of Nigerian News Direct.
on the front page of the New Telegraph as well. Okay, I think we took the New Telegraph. Look at Daily Times newspaper today. APC knocks PDP governors over call for Tinubu's resignation. Can we just end this politicking and face governance? But that's the lead story of the Daily Times newspaper, and that picture also speaks 1,000 words, as Malcolm would often remind us. Open borders, end hardship. That's the big banner right there. That's the Daily Times newspaper's lead story. And
looking at things that really stick out this morning, of course, you can see the cost of living crisis is all over the dailies. It's been on the dailies now consistently for at least maybe the last 1 month or so. We've been saying this almost on a daily basis. And we've been saying that the federal government has had some responses. Just 2 weeks ago, federal government ordered the release of 42,000 metric tons of grains from its silos, and then said it was also going to be speaking with rice millers, and that they had agreed to release 60,000 metric tons. So when you look at the front page of New Telegraph, 42,000 metric tons of grains in federal government strategic reserve silos, or no 42,000 metric tons. As a matter of fact, the allegation is that all of the silos have been rented out, and that the produce in these silos do not belong to the federal government. These are grievous allegations. These are grievous. This is something, not just grievous, it's egregious as a matter of fact. So by today, I mean, after that sort of broadcast yesterday, that sort of response, by today, we should be seeing the Minister of Agriculture coming out to either debunk this or show evidence indeed that the federal government is in control and still has grains in silos which it is distributing. We understand that the president met with governors and it was on this same matter. Were they bluffing? Were they just, trying to pull the wool over the eyes of Nigerians? If indeed there are actually grains in these silos and that the federal government has this, what is the method for distribution? So we need more clarity on this particular matter. This is not a kind of headline that should be glossed over.
That kind of question also came up at the briefing, and what the minister said to the people when they asked that question was that I think they were going to wait for NEMA and one other agency in terms of the distribution. So, of course, there are more questions about the modalities, the criteria. All of those things need answers.
The question now is, does it even exist? Because the allegation is that there is no 42,000 metric tons.
That's why I was going to say, government agencies need to then change the way they respond to things. Henceforth, you cannot respond the way you were responding yesterday, because even the deaf and the blind can see that they need your response. So much as the president has given certain directives, they have meetings, we need to ask the question of the governors themselves. Those 2 trillion that was given to them for palliatives, what happened to it? Because they poo-pooed the initial, the list or the data, whatever it was. They said it wasn't good enough. They were going to come up with theirs. Do they have it? They need to publish it. The same people are protesting, say they're hungry. So who did the palliatives go to at the time? So lots of questions too for all of them out there.
Well, I agree with you, Chamberlain, on that. Yes, thank you. I agree with you on that, Chamberlain. And Mark, thank you for bringing that up. Let's just hope. Governors, let the governors speak. I love what's on the front page of Daily Trust, but that's not where I'm going. While on the one hand, some states are saying that food prices are dropping. In Oyo State, same country, protests are continuing. And guess what? There's another protest looming on the front page of the Nigerian Observer this morning. What's it about? Hardship in the country. And look at the lead story. Labour in show of coordination lapse. That's what how the Nigerian Observer puts it. A splinter group threatens overlapping strike. Somehow, Chamberlain and Malkwe, I was thinking about this whole protest thing this morning. And I was thinking, okay, maybe it's a good thing for Labour to be the face of this protest so that there's some kind of coordination. Because if the protests continue to, stir up here and there and there is no coordination, it could spill a lot of control. But if Labour were to be on the face of it, maybe there will be some control, maybe there will be some coordination, and there will be safety and there will be purpose to the entire protest thing. But where we now have a situation where there is coordination lapse, sincerely, I don't know what to say. That's my take from the front page of the Nigerian Observer this morning.
But the question will then be, all the protests that Labour has been the face of, What did the common man get out of it? Food for thought. Well, not to worry. We're back in a moment to take you through lead stories this morning on the program, so stay on with us.